Greetings again, guys. It's Friday late morning now. So kind of wanted to add on a little bit to what was talked about this morning with what's kind of come out overnight, and then touch on something else that's kind of important for us as well. So talking about food again, and if y'all are paying attention to what's going on in other places in the world, or if you happen to live there and have made the comments in the comments, whatever, you're seeing lockdowns start again, okay? And we've all said this is going to happen. My bet was probably somewhere right around Labor Day, which would be right around school start, okay? That's my guess. But I guess there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in Australia where they're about ready to get locked down again. So this comes into a food issue. And so there was something that's come out in Great Britain, okay, the UK, calling the news is calling it the pingdemic, all right? And I guess what is going on is the National Health Service there is texting people, this close proximity type thing. Oh, you've been in close proximity to somebody who tested positive. Okay, whatever. I get the reason for that. Okay. But so now they're texting people saying that, oh, you've been in close proximity to somebody that tested positive. You need to quarantine for 10 days. Okay. Well, I guess this is where it gets interesting. And again, think about how big Great Britain is, okay? Great Britain's about the size of, maybe a mid-sized state, okay? Let's say maybe a little bit bigger than, Ohio, okay? Well, the National Health Service last week texted 500,000 people telling them that they have to quarantine for 10 days because of possible close contact with someone who's tested positive. Now, their government, their rules, they can do whatever they want. Again, thinking past here, which politicians and especially liberals, don't have the ability to do. Well, what's this caused? If people are going, crap, I'm going to be forced to stay home for 10 days. And I mean, however they're going to enforce this, I don't know, okay? I mean, are you going to get arrested? Are you going to get fined? Are they going to be walking down the street saying, show me your papers? We've all talked about that. So I guess what's going on is the supermarkets in Great Britain are, empty, okay? And there are tons of pictures where you are looking out, no juice, no potatoes, no water, no meat, I'm just looking, and I'll link this article below so you guys can take a look at it here, okay? But this is what's going on, guys. All right, we're seeing food prices go up, and again, supply is going to disappear. Us as preppers stay ahead of the game, okay? And we've said throughout this whole fiasco for the last 16, 17 months, what have we all said? Watch what's going on in Europe because that's what's coming here. And what has happened every time? Whatever's happened in Europe gets talked about or implemented here in the States, okay? Canada, whatever it would be. Okay? It's just things happen to flow west. So, we talked about this morning the prices of groceries potentially going up 10 to 14%. So now let's imagine this. Let's imagine the prices of groceries go up 10 to 14%. Like I said, I'm betting more like 20 because of how business works. And then, as I explained, why? Because if there's less in the stores, there's less for the stores to sell, and they got to make the money somewhere. This is exactly what I was talking about this morning, okay? And then this article comes out, today. I mean, I did that, obviously, record my video last night, but then this comes out today. Validation, what do you know? So there's that. So there's another interesting thing that came out, and I've got to get back to it here because I had my screen wrong. Now, those of us who are old enough will be able to pick who we'd say would be the best president in our lifetime, okay? And some may say it was JFK, before my time, okay? I'd say most of us would say it was either Reagan or Trump, okay? I certainly don't think there's anybody with any brain who's going to go, oh, Jimmy Carter, oh, Bill Clinton. Yeah, you have all the mental midgets out there who go, oh, Barack Obama, but even the Democrats aren't going, ooh, Joe Biden, okay? Well, this kind of goes back to another thing that we've talked about, and this is terrifying to me, at least, right? David Stockman, who was the budget director in the Reagan White House, okay? If you're the budget director for the United States of America, yeah, I'd say you might know a thing or two about economies, all right? Certainly not the idiots that we've got running the Fed right now, Jerome Powell or Janet Yellen or anything like that, who are, the laughing stock of the financial community in history, okay? I guess Powell's about ready to lose his job because he's screwed up the Fed so bad, okay? But, so this is what Stockman says, all right? And this is a quote. He goes, a reset, the Great Reset, is just a pleasant name or a clinical name for a crash of economic proportions, which we will have because the markets are so inflated. There are trillions of dollars that are at risk. To put a dimension on this thing or a way of sizing it is we have a $60 trillion bubble on the balance sheets of 130 million people in American society, but especially in the top 5 to 10% that own a huge share of the assets, okay? And I'll link this for you guys too, okay, so you can read it. But what he is calling for is a $60 trillion correction in the market. Okay. If you think about what that is, Stockman's calling this a 50 to 75% correction. Correction means go down, okay, in the financial markets. All right, so if I look at right now, and here it is, it's about 10:30 on Friday morning, the Dow was at just under 35,000, okay? So a 50% correction means the Dow is down at 17.5. A 75% correction means the Dow is down around 10,000. Okay, now, any of y'all that have been watching me for a while know I said at the beginning of the year, and I've stuck by it the entire year, is that I still see a Dow below 20,000 by the end of the year. Now I have the guy who's the director, or who was the budget director for the Reagan White House saying, I don't know, the same thing. So This is what, get ready for a crash of epic proportions. I'm not going to guarantee it, okay? There are no guarantees in life. There are no guarantees in the stock market, certainly. Every mutual fund, whatever, past performance is no guarantee of future results. True, okay? But knowing what I know, reading who I read, following what I do, the writing is on the wall. This is a bubble like we had in the early 2000s with the internet. This is a bubble like we had in 2007, 2008 with the housing crisis, okay? It's gotten unsustainable. We talked about GDP the other day. When we owe more than the company makes, or the company earned or country earns, we're in a bubble, okay? It's not sustainable. Same, like I said, with your household, okay? Same with the internet. When the valuation on something is absolutely ridiculous and nobody buys it, it goes down, okay? Hence what you've got in the stock market. So what does Stockman say, okay? Preserve your assets. And this was a fact I didn't know, but, the Fed, Jerome Powell again, the classic moron here, this is an interesting fact. The Fed is printing $6.5 billion a day in cash. $6.5 billion a day. And has been doing this for the past 688 days. Okay? And as Stockman says, they have printed more money in the last 688 days. Yes, I know that includes the last year of the Trump administration. They've printed more money in the last 688 days than the Fed did in the first century of its existence. Okay? What is he saying? buy precious metals. Specifically, he's saying gold. He goes, quote again from Stockman, "The only asset that has held its value over time is gold. Stockman recommends everybody should be holding some gold as insurance against the coming reset." What have we been saying forever? And a lot of you guys have listened, and thank God you have, okay? Buying silver, buying gold, precious metals, okay? Well, we've got it because it's going to be the only thing that is going to have any value going forward. Prepper Now, if you guys follow him, all right? He and his wife sold their house about a month or so ago. And I mean, he took the bet. They sold their house and moved into an apartment expecting the market to crash and then to go buy another house cheap. It's a big risk, okay? If he's right, I mean, it's brilliant. If he's wrong, it's big trouble because now he's going to pay even more for another house. But every single economic, financial signal says he made the right move, okay? To get out of a overinflated market where he was and to find somewhere in a more affordable area and buy after a dip. I've told you guys the story about my neighbors when I lived in Vegas, and they bought their house like 2009 or something like that. And literally they got the house for, I think it was $96,000, and the bank wouldn't finance them unless the mortgage was $100,000. So they had to actually increase their bid so they could get the mortgage. And the house is worth $300,000. Okay, not bad when you triple your money in the course of 10 years on your house, okay? Because they bought in, they hit close to the bottom of the market, okay? That's the same thing, guys. If you're looking, okay, if you're sitting on the cash and you have it, okay, you're going to be able to get bargains. I can't say it'll be on land, but if you're going to get it on houses, all right? Because, what happens, guys, in 1 week? 1 week from now is the end of the last moratorium, the rental moratorium and the mortgage moratorium. There are roughly, according to a story I read this morning, 1 million houses that are up for foreclosure, and the banks can start foreclosing on July 31st. Okay, there's 1 million houses that are going to potentially be on the market. Now, could they get some sort of package to figure it out? Who knows? I mean, the 11th hour, we don't know if Biden's going to come out and say, you know what, we're going to extend this for another 6 months, and it'd be 2050. You know what, we're going to extend this for another 6 months, and people go, cool, I've lived in my house for 40 years, raised my kids, and I never had to pay for it. We don't know. All right. But the rent moratorium and the housing moratorium end, and if you're looking to buy into something, you might have a good chance here. Watch what's going on. Again, supply and demand, guys. There's going to be a ton of supply, and that means, it's going to be a buyer's market. So, keep getting that groceries, keep getting those precious metals. If you're looking to move, okay, keep a real close eye on what's going on. You might be able to get some deals soon. But on the other side, if you're looking at selling something to move, you might want to get it on the market now. Because if your $300,000 house is only a $100,000 house in 3 weeks, you're staying where you are. So, all right, guys, that's another one. Have a good rest of the Friday, unless I'm back. Pinball out.